Okay, I also would like to bring to the board's attention another topic that has come to my attention, and that is interest in our community for the use of West Campus tennis courts. I understand we have somebody here from the Libertyville Club tonight who would like to speak on that, so in advance let me just say thank you for being here. Board members, as you know, we were contacted earlier in the year by a community member or several community members about the lack of availability for West Campus tennis courts. And at the time when that inquiry was initially brought to our attention, I really didn't have good information and probably didn't have a very good response as to how to, to consider West Campus tennis courts. I can tell you that subsequent to all of those inquiries, we've done a little bit of homework on this, and I'd like to show you a couple things. Ann, if you could get ready for it, I'll still do a little setup on this. This will just take a few minutes, but I've met with the director of the Lake Forest Rec Center, Mary Van Arsdale. Every park in the city, most parks do have some tennis courts. And after talking with her, it became obvious to me that there is a shortage of courts in our community. So I asked the athletic director what was the potential of availability for courts at West Campus that could be used in a cooperative effort with our current, around our current programming. And our current programming includes a summer program hosted by College Park Tennis Club, as well as the North Shore Tennis program for Saturdays. It's basically, I believe it's a men's group that occupies actually all of the courts in the community on Saturday. And then we have some Friday programming that includes a small recreation department, City of Lake Forest Recreation Department program. So I think around all of those programs, and I would mention the College Park program is an integral part of our Lake Forest High School varsity tennis program, in just a host of different ways that our coaches report are incredibly valuable to our high school team, including an exchange for indoor courts, for the use of our courts in the summertime by the clinics put on by College Park. Just to check our program against other high schools, I won't go into detail, but I have very good information on the Deerfield High School, Libertyville High School, Stevenson High School, Glenbrook North High School, and Glenbrook South High School programs. And I honestly feel very comfortable with our relationship with College Park. They've been a very responsible partner, and one our athletic director and coaches are very proud of. But what that means in exchange for indoor tennis time in the winter and inclement days, we have a terrific program for that through College Park. We are able to, College Park they take care of our nets and our screens, and they recently, even last year, resurfaced the courts for us. This is a long-standing relationship that I'll bring to you, board members, in terms of formalizing a relationship with them on a renewable kind of agreement between the two parties. I've also met with the College Park group, very amenable to whatever the board's direction would be. But I think the real issue that comes to our community is, well, what about could West Campus courts be used for community use? And having talked to the City of Lake Forest Recreation Department Director, Mary Van Arsdale, it turns out I think we could expand community use onto our courts. So let me first of all start by showing you on the Monday through Thursday summer schedule, there is 1 week where, in fact, it's this week. If you go out to West Campus, it's Lake Forest High School's own feeder program. It's just full of little kids playing tennis. So with the exception of this week, the rest of the summer it looks like this. First, the in-use on our courts, and I'm showing you which courts will be in use this summer. Court 1 is at the top, starting at the 8 o'clock time, all the way to 7 o'clock at night, and then Court 2, Court 3, Court 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down to 9, 10, 11, 12. It turns out that the College Park program only uses a maximum of 8 courts for the rest of the summer between 9 o'clock and 11:30, and then there's a break, and then there's 4 courts used between 12:30 and 2:30, and then again another 4 courts from 3 to 5 o'clock. There's actually a lot of court time that's available. I was pleased to report to the rec center director that we could work out a use agreement with them. I also felt it was important that throughout the year that we do, like the City of Lake Forest, we set aside one court permanently for residential use. So we could have one court available at all times, regardless of any program, including the City of Lake Forest Recreation Department, and have one court in use. And the exception that, of course, is when our own high school varsity and sub-varsity teams are on the court. So with the exception of that, and that's an important exception, here's the times that then could be made available to the City of Lake Forest Recreation Department program. It's pretty significant. At least courts 9, 10, 11, it's all day. Court 8, you can see that it's half the day, and a pretty good part of the day for courts 6 and 7. So I feel like that's really good availability. It's not something that Mary can actually organize right now because she planned her summer program last spring, earlier in the spring, but it's something we could make available for next year. We would charge them on a lease basis, work out some kind of lease arrangement. And then on Fridays, that's Monday through Thursday. Now let's go to, oh, by the way, if you go back to that last one, I'm sorry, Ann. The green line then, of course, is Court 12. That's the community use. Again, except when our own varsity and sub-varsity teams are on the courts. So if you go to Friday, this is what it would look like. And so the red on, on Friday is, that's the Friday program. It's a little different than the pattern. I think it's, but maybe it's the same for Monday through Thursday. Actually, I think it looks the same. And then the, oh, I know what's different. Go ahead to the next one. The red, by the way, that's College Park using our programs, our courts. Green is the green, not counting the bottom green line, that is the current City of Lake Forest use of our courts. So they use it currently in a little child program only on Fridays, and that's their use. But you can see with the next click that there's still a lot of availability of court time left. And then finally on Saturday, College Park does use the program on Saturday. 6 courts for from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, but the rest of the time is available for community use. So I feel like we can, I have talked with the City of Lake Forest about this, and I'm just pleased to report that I feel like we can throw ourselves into the mix of making our courts more available to youth of our community through the City of Lake Forest Rec Department or other programs that would, if the city itself doesn't use the courts. So, and then we would set aside one court permanently for our residents throughout the day. By the way, we're going to put a sign out there on that court. We're going to say residential use only. It's not going to go to any other program, so that we have constantly one court available. Part of it, I think, that motivates us is that we also shut down our East Campus tennis courts to make room for the construction project that's underway. So there was a loss of tennis courts in our community when we did that. And as you know, the City of Lake Forest is having a hard time keeping up. Maybe you don't know, but not having enough courts for its residents and its youth program. They're very expensive to build and that sort of thing. So there'll be a little bit more progress. I feel good about the coming back to you with College Park, but then also with a plan for community use sometime later in the year as we work things out with the City of Lake Forest Recreation Department.
Harry, does the Sunday schedule kind of map to Saturday, or?
That's a great question. Sunday, the courts are just wide open for all use. There's no programs on the courts Sunday.
And I think you said that anything we do with the rec department probably won't kick in until next year. That's to say then that for this current year, those blue lines would basically represent courts being available to our taxpayers.
That's correct. For this year,
our
that's
citizens
correct.
right now.
Yeah, and right, exactly, and you know, I think if groups want to approach us now about that, that'd be fine with us, I believe, and but we'll work up a plan for the City Recreation Department for next year. And I don't know that they would likely go to all those times, but even if they don't, that still makes certain court times available. So. And I don't know, because we're on the topic right now, and I understand the Libertyville Club is here. If you want to wait till public participation or just do that now, I think you could do it either way.
I think we could do it now.
Oh, yeah. So, unless board members